options intelligence platform priced at $699 a month at the top tier. A self-described real-time gamma exposure heat map covering over 300 tickers with a 1-second refresh rate. 352 reviews averaging 4.8 stars. The product is genuinely different from the typical WAP trading community. It is not a pick service. It is institutional-style data tooling sold to retail. So we audited Skylit, also known as Heatseeker. We mapped the structure of the data product, the 3-tier pricing, and who the audience actually is. Skylit, marketed under the product name Heatseeker, is a real-time options intelligence platform rather than a trading community in the typical sense. There are no daily picks, no morning watch lists, no live mentorship sessions. Instead, members get access to data dashboards visualizing dealer positioning, gamma exposure, and options flow across the broad equity options market. The product is closer to what institutional trading desks pay for from providers like Spot Gamma or Tradier than it is to the typical trading Discord. The framing matters because what you're buying changes how you'd evaluate it. Quick context on what gamma exposure actually is, because it changes who the product is for. Gamma exposure, or GX, measures where market makers are forced to buy or sell the underlying stock to hedge their options positions. When dealer GX is positive at a price level, market makers buy as the stock drops and sell as it rises, which suppresses volatility around that level. When dealer GX is negative, the opposite happens. Dealers amplify moves rather than dampen them. Real-time GX visualization tells you where these inflection points sit minute by minute, which is genuinely useful for short-dated options trading on indices like SPX and SPY. It is borderline meaningless for buy and hold investors or swing traders, which narrows the audience significantly. What members get across the 3 tiers? Community access at the entry tier provides a Discord channel where the Heatseeker bot streams GX data updates, plus a tool called FlowSeeker that surfaces unusual options activity. Initiate adds Heatseeker Lite, a web-based version of the dashboard with a slower refresh rate. Pro provides the full Heatseeker platform with 1-second refresh across over 300 tickers, Trinity mode showing live dealer exposure on SPX, CPY, and QQQ, and direct access to the developer for product feedback. The Pro tier is the only configuration that delivers the institutional-grade refresh rate that justifies the marketing positioning. Here is what the storefront discloses. Total members joined sits at 3,161. The community tier at $99.99 per month holds 726 active subscribers. The initiate tier at $299 per month and the Pro tier at $699 per month are the higher-priced configurations. Exact member counts on the higher tiers are not displayed publicly, which is itself a useful observation since the upgrade rate is the metric Skylit knows internally and most members will not see. The WAP product page carries a 4.8 rating across 352 reviews. The economics on the Pro tier. $699 per month equals roughly $8,400 a year. For an active short-dated options trader, the break-even depends on average position size. A trader running $10,000 position sizes needs the GX visualization to improve their edge by less than 1% annually to clear the cost. For a trader running $1,000 positions, the math gets brutal. The same 1% edge on smaller capital does not cover the membership. The product is engineered for traders whose position size makes institutional data meaningfully cheaper than recreating it themselves. The community tier at $99.99 offers a real sampling path for traders who want to evaluate whether the data matters to their style. Being through the 352 reviews, the patterns are specific to the audience. Members on the Pro tier credit the 1-second refresh rate as the differentiator versus slower alternatives. For zero DTE traders, even 5-second delays meaningfully change the data's usefulness during the final minutes of expiry. Trinity mode gets repeated specific mentions for SPX and SPY trades. Critical reviews are sparse but exist. The most common pattern is members who joined a community and realized only Pro offers the data refresh they actually wanted, which is more of a tier selection issue than a service issue. Developer responsiveness gets called out multiple times. Direct access to glitch secs during market hours is unusual at this price tier. But the audit confirms. Skylit occupies a genuinely unusual position in the WAP product set. It is institutional-style options data sold at retail pricing tiers, which has few direct equivalents on the platform. The 1-second refresh rate on Pro is technically meaningful for short-dated options trading and is not an exaggeration based on member feedback. The 3-tier structure with a real community-level entry at under $100 provides a sampling path before commitment. The 4.8 rating across 352 reviews is high for a premium product, indicating the structure is delivering for the bulk of paying members who self-selected into it. The honest concerns. The audience is narrow. If you do not trade short-dated options on indices or actively day trade individual options, the product's core value proposition does not apply to your style. The Pro tier at $699 per month rapidly becomes expensive for smaller account sizes. At $20,000 of trading capital, you are paying over 4% of capital annually just for data, which is meaningful drag. The higher tier member counts are not publicly displayed, so the upgrade rate from Community to Initiate or Pro is opaque from the outside. And as with any data tool, the product cannot guarantee profit. It provides better signals, but interpretation and execution remain on the trader. The audit verdict is a pass with niche fit only. Skylit is genuinely unusual in what it delivers. The 4.8 rating is real signal, and the product solves a real problem for a specific kind of trader. But the audience is narrow enough that the verdict cannot be a general recommendation. The path forward is concrete and depends entirely on your trading style. If you trade short-dated options on indices like SPX or SPY actively, start with the Community tier at $99.99 for at least 1 month to determine whether JEX-informed entries actually improve your decision-making. If they do, escalate to Initiate at $299 to access the light web UI, and only move to Pro at $699 if your position sizes are large enough to make the data cost trivially small versus expected lift. If your trading style does not involve short-dated options, the product is not for you regardless of price.